The van is now clean. Took about 3 hours. Right, we're going to now fit this swivel base, and yeah, hopefully it'll go all right. So the first thing we need to do is obviously remove the odour and lift up the seat. So what we're going to do, get rid of all this. Basically, there's 8 of these bolts. Undo them. Relocate the electrics that all sit under here, all this stuff, it's all hanging out anyway. Relocate all of that underneath the seat, get the seat out of the way, and then we need to trim the tops of these bolts. Wife's giving me a funny look. Yep, we're going to trim the tops of these bolts. There's different methods, but we're going to see how it goes. Try with a hacksaw, and then yeah. Okay, so I've removed all the electrics that were in there. Now just in a pile right there. We'll deal with them in a minute. All the bolts are gone. So actually this whole seat frame is completely loose, which means we can get it out of the way. Cool. So the seat's moved out of the way. Next up we're going to take off the plastic brackets that are holding all of these fuses and bits and pieces together. There's a little cubby hole down here. Little cubby hole here. Basically all the wires will be tucked in like a channel that's sitting in there. First, yeah, we'll get rid of this plastic bracket. Just a little tip, put the nuts back on so that I can use the blade to rest on that and make sure that I know how much I'm cutting. Also, if I do cut a little bit of thread, you can re-thread the the lug when you undo the nut. That's a little tip, and then hopefully cut like that, in theory. So I've decided I'm going to remove these 22mm spanner. Just seems a lot easier just to remove them, cut them with an angle grinder, stick them back in, rather than trying to hack them whilst in situ. The only one I can't do is this one over here. But that's fine, we'll cut that one off. little bit of persuasion with the old hammer. It's quite tight on some of these bolts, but it did go in. So now I need to basically tighten up. Where is it? There we go. That one there. That one there. That one there. Put the old nuts back on, and then we tighten up these lugs and put the seat on, hopefully. Bolted back in on the 8 bolts. The only thing I do want to do is get rid of this plastic trim, but I'll do this at some other point. So go back down. Nice and secure. Think about our seat covers. Pretty sweet. Let's sort that out. Cool. So that is the swivel base in. So you can see it just sits up. Yeah, it's about 45 mil. You can see the height difference there. That's right. So to undo this, to swivel it, just got to undo these. That one's done. Come on the back. So there's 2. Undo the back one as well. In theory, the whole seat should swivel round. Not done this before. Apparently there is a bit of a knack. There we go, swivel seats. It's pretty cool. So now we're able to use the van a bit more when we're camping. We can actually turn it around and use this space a bit more. Get these seats out of the way. I'm thinking about putting a little table that can come up here, swivel around. At least we can then have something that we can use for dining. But yeah. Pretty happy with that. There we go, Rusty Lee Swivel Base. We'll get all this back in. Yeah, just shove it in. So there we go. That is the Rusty Lee Swivel base done. That's a big tick off the box for the van build. Pretty happy with that. One thing I have heard is that you can put washers along the bottom, the front row, so that it does slope off a little bit, just to help stop that. But we'll see how we go. If I need to put washers on, I will. But very happy with that so far. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. There'll be more van videos, mountain biking videos, and I still need to do a full van tour of the van, obviously. So yeah, lots of updates since we picked the van up from its pop top conversion. So if you haven't watched that video, check it out over here, and yeah, subscribe, like, and we'll see you in the next one. Boom. Hey guys, so it's been a day since I installed the swivel base, and I took it for a drive, and really randomly the right hand side indicators weren't working across the entire side of the van. So this is weird. So I actually ended up taking the swivel plate back out, having a look at all the electronics, or the electric cables that are underneath. Everything looked okay, like the cables looked fine, but I just sprayed tons and tons of contact cleaner on all the little terminal blocks. Just going to add some photos in here now. So clean them up, undid a whole load of all the mucky tape that you get around the cables, sprayed a load of terminal contact cleaner, connected it back up, and I also disconnected the battery for about 40 minutes or so, reconnected it, and indicators work. Random. So I don't really know exactly what I did to fix it. It was a bit of a pain in the ass, but got there in the end. So yeah, just a note, if you're going to install a swivel base, just make sure with the terminals and the contacts underneath, probably worth just giving them a bit of a spray anyway, and just clean it all out, make sure that the contacts are really good, and check all the electrics before you put the swivel base in. That would be my lesson there. Second thing, in hindsight, I don't think you actually need to cut these bolts down. It looks like there's plenty of distance there, so that was probably a bit unnecessary, but definitely on these ones, the front ones, you can see there's not that much height between there and the nylon sheet, so definitely do those ones, but probably not the back ones. And also the final tip, these two, I actually lost one of the nuts. I sort of dropped it in there and then it sort of fell in there just to fish it back out. So as you're putting it in, just be really careful, and then just do it with your just finger tightening all the way up, and then you can get a socket on it later. Anyway, there are my tips. That is the swivel base. Going to reinstall the seat, and hopefully that will be done.